This? Stream URL copy. Alright, nice. Alright. I think we're live. Ooh, let me see. Alright, welcome to Mesh on Fair podcast. Oh, we got a viewer. Alright, today, since it's really late, we got a special day tomorrow. You know what day it is tomorrow?
It's Monday. It's no work Monday.
No, it's Meatless Monday. And it's also the California primary election. So in this episode, we're going to take a look at, we'll skim over the candidates because they're all Democrats anyways, and probably is all probably the same, but actually probably not. But we're going to take a look at the ballot measures. And yeah, and then we're going to cast our votes.
You know, if you live in a blue state, everyone in the state is the same, and then there's no politics.
Nice. Got him.
Nice.
All right. So since we can't vote, we're going to make this podcast where we recommend your vote and then you can go vote. All right. Here we go. All right. So should we just go through them? Anything else we need to talk about?
Sounds good to me.
All right, we'll start with I think how it works is there's two elections this year, March and November. Tomorrow is a primary election. Primary election. Oh, I need to share screen. How do I share screen?
That button.
Share screen, Chrome tab. How do I share screen? Oh, here we go. Boom. All right, let's see what's popping. All right, so the primary election, usually you just vote for some dude who will be voted on again. And the March one is within parties only or something. It's just Joe Biden versus Donald Trump again, probably. From the looks of it. But tomorrow's a California one. But in addition, I think there's also a bunch of local things like the court and the Senate and also actual propositions. So I think for Senate and president, the election is just a primary one, so it picks who's actually on the ballot in November, but it doesn't actually pick who gets elected. But I think the actual measures, the ballot measures and propositions actually go into effect, and this is the actual vote. So I guess it counts for something.
Make sure to vote for transit.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to start with the propositions. All right, the first one we have is Prop 1. This is the only statewide one for California. And it authorizes a bunch of money to build mental health treatment facilities for those with mental health and substance use challenges. Provides housing for homeless. Let's see what it does. So it takes 140 millions. Oh, it shifts tax revenue for mental health, drug, and alcohol from counties to state.
You want to share your screen is helping you share it for some reason.
Oh, so share this tab. Boom. Now let's blow it up. All right, so we have some random. All right, so what this means? A vote yes means I don't get it. So it's saying the state takes county money for mental health, drug, and alcohol treatment and uses it instead. State could borrow up to $6.4 billion to build more places.
Wow.
Borrow from what? Counties would need to change some of the
Bonds, right? It authorizes bonds.
Currently to focus more on housing. Okay, so it sounds like it shifts like drug and alcohol and mental health treatment from county to state, and the county ones would need to focus on other things. To focus on this housing and support lawyers. Counties will not need to change when district number. Okay. Urgent crisis of homeless men authorizing 6.4 billion in bonds and directing more annually to expand mental health, build permanent, and help homeless veterans. Huge expenditure. It costs more than 10 billion, but isn't a solution to homelessness. Now is a bad. Who wrote these? These seem really bad. The SF4 and against blurb seem really well written, but these seem.
Let's scroll up. I would imagine it says like supporters and opponents. So
They wrote these.
I wonder if they did.
This is so bad. So poorly written. Okay, now's a bad time for new bonds and that cuts.
Let's look up treatment, not tax, shall we?
Treatment, not tax. All right. Like, why is it like? Where is it?
Just click the link.
Why is it Prop 1?
Just click the link.
Why is it Prop 1 cuts funds for mental health programs that are working? I don't even know if this is a good word too.
So
mental health advocates.
Viewers who viewers are confused. So this proposition appears to authorize selling a lot of money, about $6.44 billion.
Oh, this is Newsom supported. This is who wrote it, I think.
Prop1no.com. I see. So they're basically authorizing a lot of borrowed money plus a shift of money from existing tax revenue from the county level to the state level. The pro is that you have much more money to address the issue and puts the state in control. And the con does not make any sense. So let's just ignore it.
These are very poorly written. So let's take a look at the website. All right, so Newsom is supporting Prop 1 and basically wants its position as some proposition that give more money for support programs for this population of interest. Let's see. Oops. I can't close. I'm just gonna show this one. Okay. And then we have this opposing website that says it's bad financial responsibility and hurts people by costing way too much money and redirects money and mental health services and builds very little housing. All right, we need more details. This proposition seems like a mess. All right, let's see if these things I found have any takes. This is SF only. Statewide proposition. All right, so this is the San Francisco Chronicle. And they recommend yes, because California's mental health crisis demands infrastructure. The state is short thousands of beds at all care levels, and street conditions can't meaningfully improve without more treatment facilities. All right, wait, okay. What the hell actually is the Prop 1?
I think my impression is that it's infrastructure. It's mental health infrastructure.
On a state level?
Mm-hmm.
Into Prop 1, a state ballot measure that Newsom wants. It has 86 pages.
68 pages, actually.
Oh, yeah, 68 pages. So, okay, so there's a big tax of 1% that gets levied on the super rich people. It reduced requiring counties to spend 30% of their funds on housing. Okay, this is actually a detailed argument. Let's see. 35% on intensive, 35% on other. Share money. The state's maximum share money would double from 5 to 10% to include funding for monitoring. Okay. It would also permit counties to use the fund to treat people with substance use disorders who don't have co-occurring mental illnesses.
Well, how are you reading this without the subscription? Because that's a Chronicle is paying.
Yeah, I don't know. It's opinion one, so maybe they make it something. It would also Okay, so first part is it requires the states to spend the money in certain ways, which sounds good-ish. Second, Prop 1 would authorize a bunch of bonds to create more beds. The remaining 2 million would go to Newsom's Home Key program, which gives them homes. Okay, shall we keep reading? Okay, this actually gives details on what exactly it is. But it does seem to cost a lot of money.
It's okay. Money at the government level doesn't matter.
Yee, tax stealing taxes. They're coming after your money.
What if we just vote for more spending and no taxes?
We also have doubts that we're going to find more money into. Yes, as a rapid, but the tracker's body. But I thought they were voting yes for it. Issue bonds only to see subpar results. Yeah, I feel like any money that goes into these kind of programs will be spent very poorly, but that's just how the government works. I think what's it called? The first part seems like a pretty good improvement to require it to be spent. If the whole point of that specific tax is to be spent, I think requiring it to be spent in a certain proportion seems okay. It might be bad to like require it though.
Getting 500 instead of 8,000 is a little bit beyond subpar.
Nevertheless, there's reason to believe that with new data reporting, new laws on books, and strong pressure to measure results, Prop 1 will be different. The status quo is not an option. That means voting yes for Prop 1. This article makes no sense. So it says, okay, this is what it does. It's gonna provide.
It's so detailed. It's just kidding. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. The recommendation doesn't make it. So it writes what it does. It says specifically where the money is going, what the bond is, and then so that's what this part is, and then some context or whatever. And then this whole part. Okay, so the pros. It does take big steps in the right direction. So it needs treatment beds. Still, there are some concerns. Opponents of the measure. But then all of this part is just bashing it. So it's mostly questioning previous success record of Newsom and the programs that it's done. This is a benefit, but it says it's spotty records and whatnot, and it also questions the cost of it, like the bond here, from previous examples of issuing bonds for mental health. But then at the end, after bashing a bunch, it says yes.
I think it's good that they're trying to make it as balanced and like informative for both sides as possible.
Yeah, but this seems to be written that the pros is not that much. All right. So let's read the article, the paragraphs. That's pros. Is much needed accountability and transparency. Right now, the state has little problem required counties to create comprehensive behavioral health plans accounting measure. So this is just saying what it does. It doesn't say, so I guess it's implied that these are good things because it doesn't argue why these are good things. Whereas these section argue why it's or
I point out no. I feel like to me they are pretty straightforwardly diametrically opposed because one is saying this forces accountability, and the other is saying historically there has been no accountability and money has been poorly spent. So it makes sense that establishing a framework is improving on the parts that need to be improved.
Anyway, seems bad. All right, what's the verdict? Yes or no? I vote yes.
Yeah, I think it's okay. We're not gonna pay for it.
So what else is gonna pay for my taxes? Dude, it's going after the millionaires. You better watch out.
Oh no. Our viewers are gonna be coming for us.
Yeah. I think this one we don't have enough time to dive into it too much. There could probably be a whole episode on just this one, and this is the only state level one.
I mean, I also think like there is a little bit of extra bias on our end because we live like near and interact with homelessness on a non-trivial basis.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a problem in every big area in California.
Exactly.
Maybe like every major area. So the overall program and stuff should be good. But I feel like there are a lot of specifics on the budgeting and whatnot. But like the idea is always good, like how it's positioned, like oh, we're helping
it's
homeless and mental
execution.
health. But
It's framing and execution.
every ballot measure will have a pretty good name for that or something. All right, so let's see the result. C8 Prop 1. All right, and then we'll have the Zach vote and Brian vote. All right, so wait, what'd you say? Yes and yes?
Yeah.
Nice. All right, it's time. Check this out. Check this out. Check this out. Are you ready for something super cool? I can say, check this out. Check this out.
Gemini time.
Woo! New tech, baby. Let's see if we get it. Continue the list to G. Gemini, baby! Anyways. Oh, God damn it. God damn it. All right. We are now on to the SF local measures. Now, these will affect you much more. The lower level it is, the more it is. And these ones, we have more takes. We have the some Reddit guy called Mega Cubsy. Who else? Wait, I found someone else's. This is out of date, right? This is way out of date.
You got 3 years. This is 3 years.
Wait, I found some other voter guy. California. Oh, so we have local ballot measures. We have the SF Chronicle voter guide, and then there's some other one. SF 2024 primary. What's it called? Voter guide. Our super trustworthy source, Reddit. Who the hell is this?
Grow SF.
Who's Grow SF?
I don't know. Clearly, someone really trustworthy and reliable.
All the people who are hating on this guy just keep pointing out the fact that some rich people support it. If that should disqualify opinion, there should be no other guides in SF at all, since very few people support. If you don't like the guide, you should move Y on screen, not just handle it. All right, whatever. We'll use this one, I guess. There's another one I found out. So maybe I don't.
There are countless photo guides. I don't think we should bother finding all of them.
All right, great. We'll just use these random ones. Who's Spur? All right.
None of these inspire a lot of confidence, but
all right, let's take. We'll read the SF official ones, and if necessary, if it's interesting enough, we'll take a look at some third, fourth, fifth, and sixth party opinions.
Let's see it.
All right, so we have Measure A, affordable housing bonds. Like the sounding of that so far?
Increase BMI or income. BMR, sorry.
All right, so what does this do? It will issue $300 million in general obligation bonds, subject to oversight and audit with a duration of 30 years, and an estimated tax rate of 0.5 cent per $100 of assessed property value. And okay, so get money for affordable housing is what this does. Oh, see how much better this is written than a stupid state one? Anyways, all right, so the way it is now, so to make affordable housing for the city of SF, the money comes from sources like property tax, hotel taxes, and developer fees. It also issues bonds approved by voters, and makes these funding available. So state law requires San Francisco to build or allowed to be built 47,000 affordable housing units by 2031 or face penalties. The state's financial contribution is not enough to meet this requirement, so the city must create its own funding. Okay. And citizens will audit the bond process. Alexa,
what does that mean?
There's a citizen something committee that audit the
Anything that
where
sounds,
this money, where this bond money is spent.
anything that has the word citizen in it immediately inspires suspicion because there are a lot of people, organizations that have citizens in it that are funded by very, very few people.
I'm pretty sure this is just existing thing that looks at bonds or something. It's just some
It's
thing.
just a
I think just looks at all the bonds, or it's a committee that just looks at bonds. Whatever, sure. All right, so it gets $300 million. So that's like,
Borrow $300 million.
yeah. So $300 million comes out of thin air. That's pretty cool, right?
I like that. I like the sound of that.
Yeah, that's like 12 condos or something. Woo! 24 people can now live in that stuff.
Not bad.
Wow. All right. So here's how the money will be used. 2,400 million will be used to construct new housing. And most of these will be senior housing, workplace housing, or affordable housing. This is like legit, like 4 projects, maybe 4 large projects. I mean, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. If you get like a 100-unit building, how much would I don't even know how much it would take. But anyways, I feel like our building, right, 6 units, 8 units, would what take? I feel like it would take 5 million to make.
Yeah.
So I guess 200 million, 40 million is a substantial amount. So 30 million is to preserve existing buildings, existing affordable housing. So to create new or rehabilitate and remodel. That sounds good. And then 30 million to construct. What is this? Oh, what's up, William? Welcome back. Or what's up, viewers? All right, okay, whatever. Affordable housing. City policy is to limit the amount of money by issuing new bonds only as prior bonds are paid off. An increase in state tax will be allowed if needed. So I think this increases property tax, which we don't pay, baby. So we vote for it until we buy a house, and then we don't vote for these things. Landlord will be permitted to pass through up to 50% of any resulting property tax increases to tenant. Hold up. This actually affects us, I think?
This is really on.
Okay, it seems like this seems recent, but it seems like maybe we look into this. So like this could potentially increase our rent a little bit or something. Probably not, because no one really bothers. But I feel like property taxes will go up, and it is allowable for this to be passed through. Something.
Viewer comment. This much money will only provide a small amount of housing. Some back of the napkin math suggests that it won't do too much.
At $1 million per unit, I think it will provide like 500 people's worth of housing, maybe.
I think
I think $1 million per unit is a pretty good ballpark. Back of calculation. Anyways, okay, so basically we're raising money. The city is raising money from taxes and issuing bonds to make money for affordable housing to meet its state obligation quota. All right. Should we care about this detail? Yeah, so taxes will be required to fund the bond that is issued at about $4 per 100,000 of assessed value. Oh, so our rent will probably only be like $20. Anyways, and so these are the actual numbers, and all of the supervisors support this or support it to be placed on the ballot, which is not binding upon the city. All right, let's go into the important part, which is the pros and cons. Whoa. Okay, affordable housing is needed, and it's not much increase in property tax rates. So it's not increasing property tax rates. Where's the money come from? Wait, what? Isn't this directly false? Am I tripping?
It says result in a property tax rate. We don't know what it was before.
Of the tax required to. I feel like it needs to be funded through taxes, no? Okay, whatever. Okay, and all these people support. Rebuttal. Stop the big fraud. Oh, this seems kind of sus to me. Bigfraud.com. Stop the big fraud. Breaking news is coming soon. The election is tomorrow. Anyways, during the pandemic, 7.7% of the population left. So why build 82,000 new units regardless? Because housing is expensive and more people live outside of San Francisco and commute in because they can't afford housing. I don't like this take. Interest of skyrockets. Prop A will cost 545 million, not 300 million. That's fine. That's fine. Landlords can pass 50% of higher property tax onto lenders. This is a lottery system. The luck of the draw is not fairness.
Yeah.
That's true, but improvement is improvement, I think. And if there's more housing in the city, then the market will be better anyways, I think. Like, obviously, to get affordable housing, it might be hard.
Yeah, I think we can move on to the next.
All right, yeah. All right, yes. This take sucks. I don't even want to read this.
There is not a. This is not
Bigfraud.com. Stop the big fraud on San Francisco.
Let's move on.
All right, okay, we gotta get cracking here. We got a lot to go
This is
through.
why I'm saying we don't have to spend a lot of time on all of these especially because some of these are like very, like some propositions are also just like very like this just needs to get passed and it's just
All
going
right.
through the process.
Police officer staffing levels condition on future tax funding. Charlotte City amended charter. It requires the city to budget enough money to pay the number of police officers from the previous year. So some SF police thing. It has 1,600 police officers as of 2023. And every 2 years, it recommends the number of officers needed. It gets proposed, and then the mayor approves it. And the money is paid through a general fund. The budget does not have to include funding for a number of police officers. Recommends. Okay. Oh God, this is kind of a lot. Alright, so let's see what this means. Sets the minimum level of police staffing in San Francisco. Required a city to budget enough money for at least 5 years to pay for a number of police officers employed during the previous year. Sounds fine. Change the process of establishing minimum police staffing levels for the city. Allow SFPD to introduce amendments to its own budget and create a fund to set aside money to pay for police recruitment. All right, so basically,
it seems like expansion of police force.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't it currently done? Like, I don't know what the difference is. So let's take a look. All right, so this needs 50 plus 1% to pass it. What's the last one? Is it 50%?
No, it needs 66%.
Why?
That's how it is.
Why does that one need 66 and this one needs? Oh, this one's actually split.
Let's read it.
All right. Proponents for we can achieve minimum policing levels responsibly. Okay, yeah, it's understaffed. And we're 400 down from highs.
Why do we need to be at high?
There's no requirement that a city maintains a minimum level of police officers. Our current, and it impacts how quickly our public safety system is able to respond to emergency calls. San Franciscans deserve to be safe in all neighborhoods. And then there's not enough police and lots of overtime that costs lots of money. There are 300 funded police officer positions that remain vacant. Does that mean that like, there aren't enough applicants?
Yes.
But minimum we can ensure our entire. So how would this solve the problem?
More money on recruiting.
We can ensure. Okay. We will achieve minimum. Okay, so more police.
Yes.
It is not physically responsible. Okay, what is that problem? Is conditioned on future tax funding. It can only achieve minimum SFPD funding by approving some future tax in some future election with sufficient future funding. It is a deceptive cop tax scheme that undermines public safety. Ploy for new tax revenue. Interesting. We even decided it would delay voter mandated progress until 2025. It's legally dubious. I'm gonna run around the board of super majority interest in performing politics. This is a this is a complete non-point.
These are a little bit of an at home.
Yeah. This one seems maybe important.
Our viewers think that we already spent too much money on the police.
Without
I don't
hard
believe
to say.
I don't believe either of us are qualified to comment on the amount that we spend on the police because I have no idea how much we spend on the police.
But I feel like there are people who really hate the police, but I feel like police also are good in SF. Potentially, lots of
positive experiences with the police in SF.
No, but lots of people complaining that the police do nothing. So maybe if there's more police, they'll do more things. Maybe, or maybe not.
Oh, shall we move on to the next one?
All right, don't buy the cop tax lie. Stop the cop tax. Okay. Man, confusing mess of the commission that actually prevents voters from mandating a fully staffed labor force unless and until they pass a future tax measure. So it's just a ploy for new taxes. Backed by the public sector unions that compete with police for millions of dollars. Not a fee for serving them. All right.
The language here is a little.
I mean, I think that's how a lot of these are written. All right. Abir says, I mean, I remember looking at the study on Transport California. A lot of the highest paid people in California are the police low. Yeah, that's true. I think BART police starting pay is like 120,000. I don't know about SF police, but metro area polices get paid a lot, even along the peninsula. So
everything on the peninsula is expensive.
Yeah, but I think
this is SF.
Certain areas police deal with a lot worse things. Is what I heard.
I've heard not amazing things about the Oakland police from people.
Yeah.
Someone who has.
Let's look at the rebuttal against this thing that says it's a ploy and the money is it's a messy political thing and doesn't directly address the problem. They agree we need more police officers. It's only about taking 300 million in general fund dollars. Nothing is that simple. You can't just take money from general fund and use it for police. Okay, sure. So they're saying we have a financial crisis.
Any change of tax funding?
All right, go back this prop seems too messy, and I don't know what's changing, so I won't know. Wait, go back where?
Can I go back to the details of the prop?
Right.
So a yes vote means you set require the city to budget money does not provide a way to budget for that, from what my understanding. Changes the process of establishing minimum police staffing levels requires the commission to request enough money to pay for minimum police staffing levels. It allows the SFPD to propose. Yeah, I
feel like it's no, because I feel like a lot of these things, whatever the current system is, should be able to handle it. And I don't think we have enough time to look into the details.
No from me,
so
because
some of these might be really bad.
I think some of these, like introducing amendments to its own budget, seem patently suspicious.
Yeah. Oh, also, let's look at the Mega Cubsy. Wait, this one said.
None of this.
This one says no because, yeah, basically. Oh, also this person says that wait, are we looking at the same one? Damn, we're only on B. Okay, we gotta get going.
This is what I've been saying.
All right, ready to see. All right, we're gonna set a 5-minute cap on each one of these.
5 minutes? 5 minutes isn't even enough time to read everything.
All right, 10 minutes. Oh, dude. All right. Maybe we do 2 episodes. Real estate transfer tax exemption and office space allocation.
So maybe we should just jump straight to what changes when you vote yes or no.
All right. Exempt from transfer tax the first time a property is transferred after being converted from commercial to residential use. Authorize the board to amend the transfer tax without voter approval but not increase it.
Allow the city to increase the amount of office space available for development, including property that has been converted or demolished.
Yeah. I know. So when
the tax rate depends on the total sale, and it goes into the generous fund. Any transfers are restricted and partially be spent from the tax deficit.
just convert office space
Is the idea that it's converting office space to a different space?
from commercial to residential use. So no taxes when you sell a big ass building that you just converted to residential use. And then some
what does amend mean?
yeah, I don't know. Should, in my opinion, it would decrease. Okay, obviously it would decrease the tax revenues. So $34 million to $150 million less money. Our viewer thinks this sounds sus. This does sound sus. I feel like this might be a tax loophole to sell a building or to sell like really big buildings or something.
What's the proponent argument?
Okay, basically this says a bunch of money will be lost. Is what will happen, obviously. Okay, proponents for is more homes and a vibrant downtown by encouraging office spaces to be converted into housing.
This is my thought too.
Yeah, so it just incentivizes it by saying like you can make it and sell it without doing transfer tax. This is true. I agree that this is a big thing. I feel like I've seen a million news articles about office conversions and office vacancy.
Turning office buildings into
housing. 6% tax rate on transactions over 25 million would be waived after qualifying non-residential. This is a lot of money, I feel like. Okay, so sure, it creates more housing at the expense of tax monies.
Cool. But where's the tax? Where's the money going? Or like,
it's just to a general fund.
Yeah, I know. Or I'm saying like, how this is just going to create more deficit and nothing lines up for it.
Yeah, and also it seems to me that it's targeted towards because it's targeted towards very large projects and very expensive buildings, which I don't know how helpful that is, or like if those would
I think it's
be
hard
done
to say,
anyways, or if it's just a loophole. Say that immensely wealthy owners of downtown office buildings should get a tax break when they start a building. Is what they say this prop is. Here's what they're not telling you. Okay, so it doesn't limit it to affordable housing too, but housing is housing.
Building, that is interesting. There is already a tax exemption for office conversions to affordable
housing. When the wealthy don't pay their fair share, yeah, that's true. The tax on mega office building funds affordable housing. It allows City Hall to roll back progressive tax transfer on expensive buildings The program doesn't even just wonder why. What does that mean?
I think that's what they mean by the board. The city hall can amend the transfer tax but not increase it.
By making it not progressive? That seems pretty bad.
I guess it allows them to, but I don't know if they necessarily will. But it is possible.
It mentioned above that it was like to get 6% is the max, but it's like 0.5% to 6%.
I think there is also an argument on like if you add luxury housing in downtown, that'll still make that could make housing around the other areas still cheaper.
Yeah, housing. I think any housing is still good, especially and repurposing is good. Okay, sure. It's a tax break, and the city gets less money, and obviously it's for big corporations because that's the kind of people that will have those big houses.
There is a loophole here.
The loophole is to close that allow corporation to avoid paying the first share, and we have voted for small tax increases for property valued. Okay, so this gives the power of amending it to City Hall, I guess, or to the mayor's office. And okay, they're saying let's go.
Let's move on.
All right, what's the vote?
I think my vote is no.
Yeah.
Because I think with the state of the rationale is that we need to incentivize conversion of downtown office space, but I think that is going to I think that's not something that we need to push along that much because people are going to try to figure out what they're doing to begin with. As mentioned in the opponent's arguments, it's already they already get a tax break for converting to low income housing.
But I mean that doesn't make any money, so there's no
exactly. So but I think the point though is that there's not I think it doesn't really make that much sense to try to financially incentivize this more when this is already a shift that I feel is in progress because it doesn't really make sense to keep empty office space and not do anything with it either. And as property,
well, no, I think a lot of this is a whole other podcast topic, but a lot of them would rather keep it vacant than rent for lower. And also, commercial real estate has long ass leases too, so they're very incentivized to not accept lower rates and do something with space. They can just hold on to it. There's a whole separate topic, but yeah, I vote no too. I think the general thing is unless it's very clearly beneficial, the redoing of the transfer tax, especially because it's giant properties. I think it will have the end effect of encouraging housing conversions, but I don't think in the grand scheme of things, I don't sure you could argue any housing is good housing, but at what cost, right? I think in this case the cost is too high of a bunch of missed out taxes
and the cost is also being incurred on not the people who need a tax break.
Yeah, and also I don't think this method of converting I don't know how feasible these I haven't looked into properties, but I get a sense that building new housing, there's a lot of other projects and easier things to build than converting commercial real estate. Because from the little I know, I watched some YouTube videos, so I'm an expert now automatically, of course. Commercial real estate is very, very poorly designed to be converted to residential space because of floor layout plans. There's not enough windows, the plumbing and building codes. So I feel like it's actually quite a process, from what I understand. So this might not be most effective. All right, so we got no. Wow, we're in agreement so far, Fer. All right, should we just call here? We'll do a follow-up episode.
Or isn't the vote tomorrow?
Well, yeah, but we're not voting, so we can sleep.
All right.
All right, tune in tomorrow or whatever we get around to it for measures DEFG.
Let's take a preview.
Change to local ethic laws.
Gifting bribery. Ooh, interesting.
Well, I'm curious. Are these 50 plus one? Well, 50 plus one.
Measure E.
Police department. Oh,
policies and procedures.
this one I've gotten a lot of ads on. They're like, vote yes on E to make police not have to deal with paperwork so they can work on their actual jobs and stop crime. And also something about using the latest technology for body cams and stuff.
Using
Um,
drones and installing surveillance cameras without further approval sounds like a nightmare.
Yeah. So we'll take a look at this tomorrow,
All
probably.
right,
Right?
onwards.
A viewer asked, "Are we voting in the primary tomorrow?" We are not, because we are not citizens of the United States of California. So we are
United
not
what?
United States of California. So we are not eligible to vote. We do not have that right.
My job.
Oh, I did see this Reddit post that so recently the what do you call the committee that oversees elections? Okay, the election
Oversight committee.
the election committee that organizes elections had its first non-citizen because sometime in the not too distant past, SF had a pass something that said non-citizens can be on that board, and now there's some lady who has been in the U.S. for 10 years, but SF for only like since 2020 or something. And she's on the election board, and then there's a whole Reddit article about it, not Reddit, the news article about it, and Reddit discussion about like they said it makes sense for non-citizens or something to be allowed to, I guess, because if they're really involved, but they don't have the right or whatever reason. But this lady is not it. They're not a fan. They're okay with like that change, which I have no idea the pros and cons. But they didn't like that the lady somehow got on as the first non-citizen in like a democratic election for the U.S. Right?
Oh, this is elected.
No, well, she's not elected. She got nominated. SF Elections Committee non-citizen. Yeah. San Francisco appoints first non-citizen to serve on elections commission. Okay.
Is that a high five? That's awful.
No, that's swearing. They're swearing.
They're high fiving. That's awful.
All right, so she's an immigrant rights advocate. She immigrated in 2019. Okay, she's been here for like 4 years. That seems a bit. Okay, whatever. Yeah. In 2020, they said they removed the citizenship requirement to serve on San Francisco board, commissions, and advisory bodies.
The board voted unanimously to appoint her.
The board?
Mhm.
Apparently, the board is a bunch of clowns, but anyway, separate discussion. She is here after you. Yeah, I think a lot of people had issue that she about the actual person and not this measure that allows non-citizens to be involved in San Francisco politics and San Francisco government.
Words.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Okay. Yeah. Sneak peek for next time. Illegal substance dependence screening and treatment for recipients of city public assistance.
Shall the city require single adults 65 and under, whom the city reasonably suspects it dependent on illegal drugs to participate in screening and treatment in order to benefit from public assistance. Oh, this is gonna be really contentious. Denying public assistance for anything is
offering algebra to 1 to 8th graders. Oh, apparently this one does nothing because the school district is its own government with its own board and its own voting process. And this is, shall the city encourage the school district to offer algebra 1 to students?
Algebra 1.
Wait, we can just vote on this right now. So apparently this proposal has no effect whatsoever on the school. The school board can do their own thing. So if you vote yes, you want the city to make it city policy to encourage the school district to offer algebra 1 to 8th grade. If you vote no, you don't want this. Should this be approved by a voter, it has no cost to the government. Okay, I vote yes because come on, bro. Algebra 1. Bro. Did we take algebra 1? You got held back, didn't you?
I got held back.
Yeah, what a clown. First sex out loud.
No, but I got held back and took out this algebra 1 split between 7th and 8th grade. So I still took it in 8th grade. I would not be able to do this.
Yeah. No, I don't. Have you kept up with the recent controversy? There's a whole controversy about SFUSD removing algebra for middle schoolers, and now they're trying to bring it back. Anyway.
Well, I encourage you to bring it back. I vote yes.
Yeah, I vote yes too. But apparently, this proposition does nothing. Apparently, I don't know. I feel like maybe this is an interesting future talk podcast.
Are you writing these down?
No, absolutely not. Well, they'll come up when they come up. They're important enough to talk about. I feel like there's a big difference in like a giant school district like SFUSD or LAUSD or New York USD compared to like our school district, which is one high school and one middle school. And so the parents could be like hyper involved. But here, you got like a whole system with tons of schools and tons of different parties and groups, populations, right? So I feel like it's very different. And these sort of things are much more impactful to kids. Anyways, all right, that's all. Tune in tomorrow or whenever the heck for the rest of the measures, or maybe we forget about it. Don't get it. But wait, are they not teaching Algebra 1 in 8th grade? Yeah, so I think SFUSD recently they did something to remove algebra from the curriculum.
In an attempt to detract the schools and give underrepresented students better opportunities for advanced classes in later grades.
Yeah, so it's quite horrific just from this blurb.
Let's make it so people are struggling. So let's make sure that we hold everyone back.
Yeah, exactly. So that's basically what it is. So for people who are struggling, which due to reasons, historical reasons and whatnot, tend to be underrepresented populations are more struggling than not. Or
I think pushing those people to Algebra 1 would be ideal.
Well, they would struggle in this, so that's the whole thing. But basically, yeah, they cut the program, and now they're trying to undo that because it's honestly quite ridiculous.
If you do Algebra 1 in 9th grade, then you have to do Algebra 2 in 10th grade, geometry.
I don't think
in geometry in 11th.
Oh, that sounds horrific. I thought
pre-calculus in 12th, right?
Yeah, isn't geometry?
Yeah, between algebra.
I thought geometry was in middle school.
No, geometry is between algebra 1 and 2.
Yeah.
It was algebra 1 and then geometry and then algebra 2, trigonometry, and then.
There's no separate trig class.
There is. We took it bundled together, but there is. Trig prop sets.
Oh, I see.
At least this is how it was for our school district.
You cannot really even do calculus. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
this means you physically cannot do calculus if you take one class every Yeah, this is a disaster.
But yeah, it's getting rolled back as of this year. So I don't know what the point of that ballot measure is, but it's there.
Encourage it.
All right. I mean, my school process was kind of. Anyways, all right. Great work, everyone. We're making the world a better place through your vote or something. Yeah. All right. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in
to the Méchant Frère podcast.
Oh yeah, this was episode
9.